Hello, my sewing friends. I'm Jen, and this is Friday Sews. Friday Sews is when we talk about sewing and life. And if you want to find all kinds of people who do it, just click on the hashtag in the description box or in the top comment. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of mine. Let's get straight on into the sewing because I have a lot to tell you and I'm so excited. I got to tell you, I couldn't stand it anymore. I thought, my life is a lot of it is about sewing and creating, and I wasn't doing that to any kind of great degree, and I knew I had projects in here I wanted to work on, and I finally said, that's it, forget it. I shoved a bunch of stuff that was in the way out into the living room, and I came in here and I started working, and it feels wonderful. I'll just show you what I'm working on. I'm making a little tiered dress. Just seriously, it's not no fastenings. It's just a little tiered dress, 3 tiers, ruffles. And then it's got short sleeves, puffy sleeves. This is as far as I've gotten. So this is a bit of a story. We'll see how it's going to turn out. I think it's going to be beautiful no matter what I do with it. But I tried to do math. That never goes well. So when I was cutting the fabric, the cherries, to do this, I did the math and I messed it up. And I don't have enough of the cherry fabric to do all 3 tiers for the skirt. So what I've done instead, I was going to line this with 2 bamboo sheets. Yeah, I was going to use that to line it. And so I just cut some tiers from that. So I think what I want to do is do 1 tier, 2 tiers out of the white, and then the last tier I'll do out of the cherries, and maybe a little ruffle at the bottom hem. I don't know. I got to play around with it and just see. But I'm really pleased with it so far. So I am going to finish this, and I don't know what I'm going to do next, but man, it just felt so good to get back in here and turn on my machine and do something. It's not sitting out on the lanai with one of my antique machines playing around. It's actual sewing. Love it. I did a little bit of shopping on simplicity.com and everything came earlier this week. I got 5 patterns. I have not shopped simplicity.com in the past because adding the shipping to the total and then the tax, and then you divide that by the amount of patterns you get, and it was just too rich for my blood. When I was getting patterns for $1.99, I never had any interest in doing that, but now we got to get them there, so that's okay. These worked out to be about $5 each, I think, all told. So let me show you what I got. I got McCall's 85.69, which is, yep, Laura Ashley. I did not have any of these reprints. And to be honest, I don't think I have any of these originals, but it's Laura Ashley, from the 70s, I think, vintage 70s. Yeah. So, yeah. And then I got McCall's 85.70. I think I wore something like this in junior high school. This is a wedding dress, I think. I wore something like this to my junior prom, not my senior prom, but my junior. McCall's 85.95. Very Jessica McClintock, who I wonder what came first. This is the chicken and egg thing. Her or Laura Ashley? I'm not sure, but it's that whole prairie thing. So there's that one. Another formal dress. Actually, I don't know. Looking at the pictures on the front, it looks kind of like a nightgown, kind of like a wedding dress. I don't know. This is McCall's 85.94. Pretty dress. Lots of ruffles. Very Laura Ashley. That's all the Laura Ashley. This one, I'm looking for the original of this one. This is McCall's 85.96. And it's a pattern, vintage 1970s. I wore this dress on my 21st birthday. I made it from a ditzy print that was mostly orange and brown. Look, the colors did not look great on me, but I loved this dress. I wore it out, I think, all the time. I wore it all the time. So I really want the original. So I'm on the hunt for that. I found out the pattern number, and so I put a in search of post on the pattern destashing group on Facebook, and then I've been kind of stalking eBay, and I don't know if I think I found it on Etsy, but it was like $25. I'm not going to pay that much for it. And well, right now I'm not. It depends on how desperate I get. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's why I got that. It's a dress, a maxi dress, and a little pair, like a romper and a jumpsuit. So very cute. Ties right down the front. And how current is that? Have you seen all the dresses, or not dresses, the tops that tie in the front? What goes around comes around. So anyway, that's all of the sewing. As for life, I want to tell you about my friend Michelle. Michelle sews again, and she has been branching out and doing more than just sewing. She made me these earrings. And, you know, the sewing sisters, there's a group of us that call ourselves that on a group chat. And, or no, I think we've changed it to Material Girls. Anyway, she has branched out into making these earrings, and she's been sending them out to all of us. And she has a shop now that's open called Kaleidoscope Creations, I think. I'm not sure if that's right. I'll put it on the screen, and I'll also link it below. These are gorgeous. She's just so talented. And uh, I love the way she'll go from one new creative thing to the next, and she never leaves any of them behind. She's always doing them to some degree or another. So, yeah, that and just getting this room together are about all of life that I've got to talk about. The room's going to get done this weekend, and I have a lot of problems to solve, but it's okay because they're most of them are solved. I've got most of it done in my head. I'm going to move on into a little bit of Jesus. So, if that's not for you, thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate spending some time with you. And so, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you've stuck around for a little bit of Jesus, I just pulled out one of my prayer cards randomly. And this is from Nehemiah 8:10. The joy of the Lord is your strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I got to tell you, when I am overwhelmed and down, everything looks too big to get through or to accomplish, whether it's emotional upset or mental mechanics of, you know, trying to figure something out. Uh, that takes a lot of processing power, doesn't it? Yeah. And I lose all energy, all strength. No amount of coffee fixes it, although I do need Jesus and coffee. But you know, I get worn out and I get overwhelmed and I just go, forget it. I can't handle this. And when I think about that scripture, the joy of the Lord is my strength, it makes me think that every time that I stop and I either listen to some praise music or I just sing either in my head or out loud and I praise my God, then that joy, it comes out of me and it comes from him, and I'm strong again. And I can face what's ahead of me. I can really tackle the things that are so taxing. And I can deal with all the emotional upset and do what I need to do there. It's just the joy of the Lord is your strength. And it doesn't matter if, you know, you dropped a coffee cup and have to clean up a mess on the floor, or if you lost a loved one. It, you know, these are all problems we have to solve, whether they're first world problems or really deep soul crushing problems. It doesn't matter. The joy of the Lord is always there, and you can always get a hold of it. You can always offer it to him and get it back from him, and it is going to make you strong. I will leave it there for now, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you, precious friends, next time.